What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Listen, it is like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I hate when I say I'm gonna do something the next day, but I just can't since I literally just finished it. I know it came out earlier this month, and people was like, Ashley, you need to go ahead and watch this. Now, mind you, I was seeing it on Twitter and it was blowing people away. And it's somebody on Twitter that I follow. His name is Chris Evans. He's a black guy. And some of y'all, if you on Twitter, you probably done seen a lot of his tweets too, because he posts a lot of videos and then sometimes he posts a lot of political commentary and stuff like that. And so he was talking about this case, and I remember him putting a thread down, tweeting a thread about this whole particular situation that went down. And when I looked at the show, I was like, oh my God, so this is what he was talking about. Because mind you, I just saw the one tweet and I realized that it was a whole bunch of other tweets underneath that. I said, girl, I ain't finna read all this shit. I just saw the one tweet and I remember the name Donna Summers. I said, oh my God, Miss Donna? Oh, okay. But no, this was another Donna Summers, okay? But I eventually, since I had the day off the other day, technically, it is Thursday now. But girl, I actually watched this whole thing. Now, at first, I started watching it, then I paused, then I said, you know what, I'll finish this at work. But I got up and I just went on ahead after I took my nap because I was a little tired. I had came through and I just finished watching. I said, bitch, it's only 3 episodes, okay? And I watched this shit and I was just sitting here. And you want to know what it was? I had to put it on pause for a second because in the very first episode, like 10 minutes into the episode, I was sitting here like this. What? I paused that bitch and I just literally had to sit here and go, what the hell is this? You cannot be serious, all right? So, don't pick up the phone. It's about a hoax case that was going on that started or that got national attention in 2004. And for those that have not watched it, if you don't want to hear no spoilers or anything about it, you can click off. If you don't mind, just keep on watching because I'm finna just talk about the whole thing. Mind you, girl, I'm sitting here like 2004, baby. I was a junior in high school or about to be a senior. I was probably a senior, you know what I'm saying? If it was in June, I don't know, it was April. No, I was a junior because it said April 9, 2004. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, it's the whole, when you sit back and you think about a lot of stuff that's been on and been happening, you like, damn. So when this was going on, I was at this place this time. I wasn't old enough. Like, I could have knew about it, but I just wasn't in tune. I was a teenager, so we weren't really thinking about all this stuff, whatever. And so you go back and you look at all these other cases that was going on during that time or whatever, scandals and stuff. You're like, damn, I missed all this even though I was living through it. It's crazy. Because, girl, I ain't never heard no shit like this. I ain't never heard nothing like this, all right? So it was this hoax that was going on, right? And when the episode starts off, it's about in 2004 in this town or a city called Mount Washington, Kentucky, I believe. So I'm going to assume that it's a smaller city or whatever. And, it's at a McDonald's. Now, see, McDonald's, I got an issue with you. Okay, now see, girl, I ain't been to your facilities in a minute. I'm trying to, cut down on all of that shit or whatever. But, to be quite honest with you, your stuff just don't hit the way that it used to hit when I was younger. It's messing up my systems and everything. So I had to say, girl, back the fuck back, okay? We ain't finna do that. Mind you, it's a McDonald's down the street. It is a McDonald's and a Popeyes down the street. Now, why, when I moved, it was a McDonald's and a Popeyes right by each other? I said, what the fuck? So I didn't move it. But anyway, girl, I said, and then I work I work right across the street from the global headquarters of McDonald's. So, bitch, I can go over there and ask them some questions. Y'all want me to go ask them some questions and start some stuff to the people that's over here, you know, just in case y'all might, you know, catch this review, whatever, and y'all ain't get the justice that y'all deserved if y'all feel like it. Y'all want me to go over there and talk to them people at McDonald's because McDonald's was one of the main people that was going through all this shit. And we'll tell you in a minute how McDonald's is a little bit culpable up in this whole situation. But the first case that brought all this shit to attention was in 2004, April 9th. You know, Miss Donna Summers, she was like the manager or something like that, some authoritative figure up in the McDonald's at this in this city in Kentucky, Mount Washington, right? Girl, she get on the phone and this man was on the phone talking about some, hello, my name is so-and-so and so-and-so. I know, I'm a police officer with the so-and-so police department. You need to find somebody that fits this description. Describing a woman saying that she stole, a customer's purse or something like that, or took money out of a customer's purse. And so she went to the back or whatever, looked at the employees, brought in this one employee. Mind you, she's 18 years old. She's 18 years old, okay? 17, 18 years old at this time. I know legally they probably consider her an adult, but in my mind, she's still an inexperienced minor, okay? And at this point, mama just out here trying to, you know, help her mama out. You know, get some money for the people, for the family, try to help, make it seem like she doing something, being productive instead of staying in the crib all day, you know, while mama's scrambling for change and trying to feed y'all asses. And so at this point, she come back there and she was like, yeah, I got the girl or whatever. What you want me to do? I mean, what's going to happen? Now, my whole thing is this. As soon as I heard that the cops are calling, this person is saying that he's a police officer. And he's calling and saying that somebody in your establishment stole something from somebody else, a customer or whatever. My whole thing is this. Since when do the police call the establishment and tell you to go get the person, go look for the person, and don't give you an actual name? He never said a person by the name of so-and-so and so-and-so. So it's like, it's not targeted. It's not targeted. He just gives a fucking description. And if somebody that works in that establishment that looks like that description, that's who they pulled out. And that's literally what happened to this girl. And that's what it seemed like. Because I'm just sitting here like, what? So you pull this 18-year-old girl who she said she had a military background. She was told if her parents told her to do something, that's what she's supposed to do. Her parents told her if an adult told you to do something, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't talk back. You don't be disrespectful and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So she was in that type of household. So that's why part of the reason why some of the stuff that went down because she didn't protest enough. Bitch, let me tell you something. And I'm not even finna blame her because I understand when you are so fucking scared and you're confused about the stuff that's going on that you can't believe, and sometimes it just make you just stand there in fear and you just do what they say because you just really don't know. Your brain is trying to calculate what the fuck is going on. But see, I don't even blame her. Like I said, I blame the manager, I blame the manager husband, and whoever the fuck else was on that goddamn phone, okay? Because ain't nowhere in here. Since when do the cops call? And if they do, y'all let me know. I ain't never had no run-in with no cops like this. And anytime we had to do a report or something, we go down there to the police department, okay? And then, you know, they'll probably come to the house if it's something serious or whatever. That's what I thought. They'll come to your house or come to your place of establishment and arrest you right then and there or say, we need to talk to you, okay? In person. In person. And I know for damn sure I ain't got to get no, have to have experience in this, but I know for damn sure I ain't never heard about no police officers getting on the phone telling people, well, either you can have them come down to the police station to do a strip search or y'all can do the strip search there. Bitch, what is the purpose of doing a strip search at a fucking establishment and you can't see what's going on and they can be acting like they ain't doing it, and what purpose do it serve? Because they could be like, bitch, we did the shit but we ain't find nothing, and all the stuff could still be on them. I said, it just don't make no sense. I said, Miss Donna, are you really that dumb? And I hate to say it like that because come on. Come on, I don't see her as a victim at this point because, girl, you willingly went on with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you are in, and I know somebody gonna be like, well, if you don't see her as a victim, then Louise, she was a victim. She was a victim because she is being told to do stuff by somebody that was an authority figure. Someone that was over her that could have probably cost her job, and she probably felt like what she did, she would have lost her job and all this stuff, or whatever consequences would came to her. She didn't comply. She would have lost her job. She probably would have lost her life. You never know what would happen, okay? But you literally got on the phone and you listened to somebody that said, go ahead and strip search her. Okay, let's say you was dumb and you just really didn't know, and this is what really happened. When it got to the part where you're stripping her, you got her bucket ass naked, you're going and putting her clothes in the safe, what the fuck is it finna do? And it's taking forever for the police to come, so-called to come pick it up, and then you talking about something because it was a rush hour, you know what I'm saying? It was a whole bunch of people. Mind you, Louise did a double shift that day. She volunteered to do a double shift, and this is how you repay her? I said, oh my goodness, girl. So she was like, Miss Donna was like, listen, I got to rush out here. I still got to manage this goddamn facility. Like, what's going on? You can't keep having me back here. I said, bitch, hang the phone up. Hang the phone up, girl. I said, hang the fucking phone up. He said, well, do you have any male employees or persons in your family or somebody that can come down and watch her and get on this phone? I said, what? And she gonna say, well, yeah, I got my fiance who is not an employee. And I said, so you called him to come down here to your workplace to come watch this girl that he has no idea who she is, and she knows nothing of him. She is a young girl. I don't even, listen, I just fear for her because at this point, ain't no telling what was going through her mind. Like, mama, you don't even know if mama was sexually active at that time, and that comes into play for a minute because they had her doing some fucked up shit. They had her doing some messed up shit. I'm sorry to curse like that. But you had this man come down there and to sit up in a room and then to get on the phone with this dude. What fucking police do that? I said, come on, Miss Donna, how many years you been on this earth and you know damn well, bitch. I said, listen, it's 2004. It's 2004. Now, I know we ain't supposed to be looking at TV to get our criminal advice, lawyer advice, medical advice, but bitch, I ain't never seen on Law and Order nobody do no shit like this with the police where they talking to them on the goddamn phone and they walking them through a strip search. They walking them through this and telling them, well, you have a man come in and watch this girl, a stranger, and she's bucket naked. And then this fool, I'm sitting here like, so not only are you dumb, Miss Donna, your fiance is dumb. It's Dumb and Dumber at this point. It's Dumb and Dumber. And I'm sorry to keep on saying it, but what else can you say? Both of them were fucking naive and it had no excuse because I'm like, if this was your child, your daughter, would you do this? It just didn't make sense. And I'm just like, I'm just not understanding because, like, the man on the phone is telling you to make that girl do jumping jacks and let her titty bounce and everything to make sure stuff falls out, to go all up in her, whatever, to make sure she ain't got nothing up in there. Kiss her or whatever to check for drugs and put her over your lap and spank her and then was spanking her real hard for over 30 minutes. I said, what part of a fucking drug test, strip search, or anything does that encounter? You ain't even had to encounter a fucking police or be in a police office or ever had this done to you to know that is not how a strip search works. I said, what the whole hell is going on? And then when he was instructed to tell the girl to give the man oral sex, I said, that should have been, if you got it to this point and you still couldn't get it, that something is not right about this situation. When that man what fucking officer is going to tell you to force another person to give you oral sex and say that's for the law? Baby, that is against the law. Okay? And I'm just sitting here like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. He made her do it. I said, oh my goodness. She up in there, and you can see some of the tape. You can see the fear. You can't hear it, but you can, even though the tape is grainy because it's from 2004, it was a VHS tape, baby, you can just see the fear in this young woman's eyes, okay? This young woman's eyes and her motion, movements and everything. I was so disgusted and I was so fucking mad. I said, nigga, put him under the jail, because at one point I said, so do you got something to do with this too? Because this just don't make sense. You literally sat there and made this girl suck your dick, and then you gonna run out because you knew right then and there that something wasn't right. And then it took for the fucking maintenance man to come in and talk on the phone and say, who the fuck is this? And say, hell no, and hang up. I said, what? What? And so when the cop that was on the case, he comes down there, come to find out, he's looking at the tape, because they was like, it's tape, it's footage and all this stuff, because they had recorded, of course. Girl, he was looking at it, and I guess he really couldn't make out who it actually was, but he was disgusted and he felt so horrible about it, right? Like when he was talking about it, he was just choking up because this girl was really fucking violated. And then we get to see exactly why he was also feeling this way. When he finally saw the lady, girl, he said that little girl was his goddamn neighbor. Her daddy and him was friends. I said, ain't this about a bitch? He said, oh, so now I'm finna make it my mission to find out who the fuck was this doing this shit. I said, are you serious? So what happened to Donna and Nick, because that was her fiance name, I don't know if them people together, but y'all see what's going on. Mr. Nick got like 5 years in jail, because basically, regardless of if he did not know that, you know, this wasn't supposed to happen, he was not in on it, you did commit a sexual assault because you made that girl, because you were so-called following the instructions from a stranger, a nobody, a faceless person who claimed to be a cop on the phone, and you told that girl to suck your penis, and then you were spanking her, doing all this other stuff. That's sexual assault, okay? Granted, you know, even though she wasn't we can't even say she was really resisting like that, but you could tell that she wasn't wanting to do it because she felt that she had to at that point. It literally was against her will, because that's not on the forte that I'm gonna suck my manager's boss, fiance's penis. I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is a lie. He got 5 years in prison for like sexual assault and all that. And I said, thank you, rape and all that, because that's what it was. That's what it was. Miss Donna got 1 year like probation or some shit, because you remember, or do you know what's going on with the Young Thug case? For my people that know about this or whatever, Young Thug, he was arrested. Or for those that don't know, Young Thug was arrested on RICO charges and stuff, saying that his YSL imprint was a gang, right? And it was a whole bunch of people around him in that said gang that they said alleged, you know, they got arrested as well. Gunna was part of it. He's another rapper, you know what I'm saying? He got let go because he pleaded guilty, and he did it on an Alford type plea. That's what it's called. Basically, you plead guilty, but you're still claiming that, and you're being persistent that you're innocent, but you plead guilty to it, and so therefore it gets you out. And you get time served. You're probably going to get a little bit of probation. Probably going to have to do some little community service and all that other shit. But, you know, you don't have to testify. You didn't really snitch. You didn't say nothing else. You maintain your innocence. But in order to get that sentence commuted, you just go ahead and plead guilty or whatever and all that shit. Before that case, baby, I ain't never heard nothing like that. I ain't never heard nothing like that. Because now a whole bunch of them are doing the same thing, and they're all getting out. They're all getting out. I said, what type of shit is going on? Baby, they did the same thing for Miss Donna. Donna ain't have to serve no jail time. Donna got a year probation and probably some other shit. But, you know, they put her face all out there. So, ain't no telling what happened to her. I'm pretty sure her career and work shit is just fucked. And it deserves it because you're dumb. I wouldn't want nobody like that was that damn gullible to be working and to be managing anything. Girl, so when Mr. Detective Man started looking into this case, because he was like, listen, you done harmed somebody that I fucking know. And then on the human side, this is just disgusting. This is a violation and everything. Girl, he started looking into the case. Come to fuck to find out, he was looking into it. It was another detective out there in Massachusetts, Boston, okay? He was looking into it and he finding stuff. So unbeknownst to each other, They're both doing the same thing, and they both coming across the same type of situation. They're coming up with the same evidence. Finds out that this shit has been going on at a lot of fast food restaurants. Taco Bell, Hardee's, McDonald's, and Burger King, all this shit. Bitch, I said, what? What is going on? I said, this been going on not for a couple of years, not for a year, not for a few months, bitch, for 10 plus years. This shit was going on like in the early 90s. I said, oh my God, they said 1993 or something like that. I said, where? Who? Huh? And there's people that was actually gullible enough to believe this. And that is what's getting me. I can't even say even in the 90s, like in the early 90s, I mean, it was, you know, we're more technically advanced. We're more, you know, a little bit more smarter. No, bitch. It's not even about that. It's about common sense. I wish somebody would tell me to strip search or tell me to bring something. Because, bitch, I ain't going to do that. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Lawyer, if you think that I stole something or whatever, you think that I did this, let me get my lawyer. And we'll come down to the station, okay? Other than that, click. That's what we gonna do. Because you ain't finna do no shit like that to me or to nobody else. I said, what? How can people be so gullible? I just didn't understand it. They talked about this particular Milgram test or whatever, and they explained it or whatever, but it just shows you how easily, and honestly, what it feels like, this feels like how probably a tactic or whatever of manipulation, and you know, because the guy was just so calm, and you know, but it kind of sounded like he could have been for real. It kind of feel like how probably, you know, cults happen and people get brainwashed to start following them, because it don't start off so aggressive. It's painted this picture that everything is cool, and they start off with that calm demeanor. Girl, I was sitting here like, what? But I wouldn't have fell for no shit like this. And I can honestly say that, you know, sometimes they say don't say what you won't do, because you really don't know what you would do in that situation. But baby, I know what I would have did in that situation. Click, hang up the goddamn phone, okay? This ain't prank wars, all right? Hang the goddamn phone up, okay? Crank callers and everything. I said, what? And then he was doing it from a payphone. So they found out that some of this been going on since like the early 90s. One girl had it happen at Hardee's. The guy who just got hired, he was 51. He was hired as a manager or assistant manager, one of those. And he wasn't even there long. I think he was probably there for like a week or so, you know, and he get this phone call telling the girl to come up in there and to do this and to do that and get naked and try to commit a sexual assault on her or whatever. But before all that shit happened, he hung up that damn phone and was like, no, we can't do this. So he winds up getting arrested. He winds up getting charged. He had to get a lawyer, and he was adamant that he was not in on this. It was foolish for him to continue doing it or whatever, because it just didn't, when you look at it now, it's like, yeah, I was dumb, but you just didn't know what could have happened, because people are crazy. I get it. People are crazy, whatever. But at the same time, girl, he almost went to jail, and good thing he had a good lawyer, and the people realized that, you know, it wasn't his fault and he wasn't responsible for this. But at the same time, I feel like he probably should have got probation. If Donna got probation, bitch, and her husband went to fuck to jail, he probably should have got something, because you just did something real stupid. And you 51 years old, okay, at the time. You did something real stupid. But, you know, I felt a little bad when he was like, some of the people that I talk to, they don't fuck with me no more. Like some of the people that used to be my friend, like my life, no. When he started crying like that, I said, damn. This man, whoever the fuck this mystery man is just going out here destroying lives and just keep on going, and had no problem doing it. I said, wow. Then we talk about this one girl at Taco Bell. She had it done, and she was about to sue them. And basically Taco Bell, and see, this is the thing about when you do stuff with corporations, okay? And that's what they be always saying. You know, they be like, take it to HR. HR ain't there to help you. HR is there to help the company and protect the company. I just want y'all to know that as well, too. Okay? But, you know, the same thing happened to her. And she was like 18, 19 years old. And she was so traumatized by it that she dropped out of college. She lost her scholarship. and she just wasn't herself for a while. They tried to use the things that she wrote in her journal. They was trying to get her not to sue, and they was just intimidating her. I just cannot stand how much these corporate entities are such bullies. Okay, they're bullies to a certain extent, especially when they get in trouble and they know what's going on, right? That they are having a part in this, whether they want to believe it or not. They are somewhat responsible for this, and that goes back to the McDonald situation. And I just felt so bad for every woman that was talking. And then when you was looking at it, they was like victim hoax caller number 89. I said 80, goddamn 9. It was 100+ shit that was going on. I said, wow. And it was spanned like over 10 years, over 32+ states. I said, what the goddamn holy hell? Girl, you ain't got the right people. They was like, he perfected it, because on some people he tried to do it and they just hung up. Other people gave the fuck in. I said because they stupid. But then again, is it really stupidity? And I know somebody probably gonna be like, well, you can't really call them. Yes, I can. I'm sorry. Yes, I can, because why would you do that? Why would you participate in something like that? Girl, I know, and it's so crazy, because if somebody can do some shit like that over the phone, imagine the shit that probably be happening, that do happen with these phishing emails, these fake emails, these spam emails, these emails and websites and stuff, these links that you click on. It's even worse, I feel, today, because people, not everybody is technological literate. So you can click on something and thinking that, oh, I thought I paid this, but let me go ahead and pay it back or whatever. It didn't go through. And you go ahead and put your credit card information in there, and bitch, you just got your bank drained because they just took all your shit because it was a fake ass email. Girl, it was on the level of that to some sort. Like I said, ooh, Lord Jesus, it was really bothering my spirit. It was really bothering my spirit watching this whole shit. And so when the two officers, policemen or whatever, and they finding all this information, and then one guy, he found out that the person that was on the phone was using prepaid calling cards. And so they were trying to find out where the numbers was coming from, where the calling cards was coming from. They pinpointed that it was in Panama City, Florida. I said, Panama City? Oh, shit. All right. And so they trying to find out, they got exact times when one of the events happened at 3:02. At this time, that's when it was that he came into the store or that he checked out or whatever. So they teamed up because they found out that, the officer that was in Kentucky and then the officer that was in Massachusetts, they teamed up. They found out they was working on the same thing, because nobody else realized that, oh, this been happening to more people. Wow. And other people are looking into it, because even AT&T or something like that, they was talking about how they've been getting a whole bunch of calls about this whole situation, the hoax callers and prepaid phone calls and phone cards and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, all right. So once they linked up, they went down to Panama City, right? They found some of the locations and all that shit. They was looking at TV footage, VHS footage or whatever. First of all, the first tape that was sent over there to Mr. Massachusetts dude, he only got an aerial view of the guy going to the register, right? But you couldn't really see his face, but you could see who he is. He's a tall, kind of heavy-set dude, a little bit. Little overweight. Probably he could stand to lose probably like 50 pounds. Maybe like 40. He'll be all right because of his height, and he'll look a little bit, slender. So, so if he would have did that, he probably would have got away with it too. Okay. But at the same time, they really couldn't make out his face. So they sent, it was another Walmart. Baby, I said out there in Walmart, Wally Mart. Okay, bitch. I said, girl, it's always in fun. Walmart is always in some goddamn shit, bitch. But that's where he was going to get the prepaid calling cards, right? And so it was another Walmart that he went to, and they actually had video footage of him walking in, and you see him clear as day. He had the glasses on. the officer from Massachusetts noticed that he had a braid on his pants. And I said, what you mean a braid? He said, that's what police officers wear. Probably like the sheriffs or something. I don't know. Police officers or whatever out there, that's what they wear. So they go to the police departments out there in Panama City and they're asking, you know, looking through, do you know this man? Do you know this man? Do you know this man? He has to be a police officer. They was like, sir, first of all, no, he's not a police officer. And second of all, that is not a police officer uniform. That is a correctional officer uniform out here. So it's 3 correctional facilities that was out there, right? They go to the first one. They showed the picture. Oh, we don't know him. They go to the second one. One of the dudes was like, yeah, that's David Stewart right there. I said, God damn, you hit pay dirt right there and there. We ain't even got to go to the third. Girl, he came, and it was like, he already up in here too. So they go up in there to talk to him. And he was like, they tell him, listen, we know that you banned calling cards. We know that you the one doing those hoaxes, whatever, on the phone. And he was like, thank God it's over. I said, what? Was that an admission? But he wouldn't really just go ahead and say, yes, it was me. I was doing this. And then I think he said, did anybody get hurt? Hell yeah, somebody got hurt. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, girl, all of that shit. Okay? Kind of physically, because Miss Louise got her ass whooped, okay? Literally. I was just like, oh my goodness. I'm thinking he about to admit the shit. He said, hell no, and I invoke my 5th Amendment. I said, baby, hold on. We ain't in a court of law yet. How are you invoking your 5th Amendment? He said, no, we ain't finna talk. He shut that shit down. So in that case, they feel like they got it. They feel like they got everything that they need. And I feel as though what they did to mess this up, because they messed it up. I ain't gonna necessarily say that they messed it up. I feel like they jumped the gun, all right? And they went off the fact that, yeah, somebody recognized him at the job and said that that was him. Yeah, they went to his home and they saw that he did have a couple of calling cards. Okay, but other people that could probably fit his description could have those calling cards as well and use them for other purposes. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? And as we've been learning this whole couple of weeks or whatever, when it's the defense type of situation, all the defense have to do is, even if they did it and your lawyer knows that you did it, you just have to create reasonable doubt. We've been seeing that throughout the whole couple of weeks, right? Reasonable doubt to get a guilty person off. That doesn't mean that they're innocent. It just means that, you know, the prosecutor did not present enough evidence to convince the jury that this person actually did this, you know? And so I'm sitting here like, I get that y'all want to go ahead and just get him charged up and get him locked up or whatever. But I said, hold on, because y'all need to have some more stuff. Mind you, this is 2004. I get it. I think at this point it's 2006 because the trial is a couple of years later or something like that in that area. Because prior to that, baby, Miss Louise, she wanted to sue McDonald's. So let's get on to McDonald's for a second. Now, McDonald's had me fucked up. Miss Louise said, bitch, we finna sue y'all asses for $200 million. And this is why I can't stand corporations. And this is why there is this war, or I ain't even gonna say war, this is this debate and this issue that a lot of people have with capitalism, you know what I'm saying? And these greedy corporations and stuff. You know that you had an issue and you know that you played a part in this situation. You didn't necessarily put this man or this person, whoever it is that was doing this, you didn't put that person up to, you know, call and prank and do all this stuff and cause this harm to be done to this woman and your other employees or whatever possibly, but you knew of it. And they go after these people because automatically what they try to do is to mess with somebody's character. We've seen that for the past couple of weeks as well in a certain trial that's going on as well. They try to mess with a person's character by putting out all this, you know, information that, like, what they got to do with what happened. I don't care if you did this and that or that. We're talking about what happened right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? At that particular time when the crime or the situation happened, you know? So they're just trying to, you know, put doubt again. And so you got that going on. And they was trying to make it seem as if Louise was in on this prank. She knew what she was doing. Her whole thing was she wanted to go ahead and get some money. Her whole objective was always to get some money. Baby, what made me so fucking pissed in this part too was when they had the janitor, the maintenance man that hung up the phone when Luis was going through the shit, that ended the shit. He was like, man, get the fuck, hang up. He came up in there and said that she was in there talking about getting some money out of this. I said, now, sir, why would you do that? Now, you know damn well that wasn't the context. I said, oh, my goodness, because, bitch, if something like that happened on the goddamn job, I'm finna sue too, bitch, and you finna pay me for my pain. You finna pay me for my pain. I can't put your ass in jail, but, bitch, you gonna pay me some way, somehow, okay? Girl, I said, they was basically trying to victim shame her. It was just so disgusting, like, and then gonna ask her, how come you didn't get up and leave? You wasn't being held against your will. I said, what? Imagine this is 2000 something. So I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. That's where they messed up at. How come you couldn't, that's one of the places where they messed up at. How come you couldn't just get up and leave? Nobody was holding you against your will for a good 10 minutes. She said, bitch, I don't know what the fuck was on the other side of that door and what was going to happen to me. And then what also got him as one of the detectives in Mount Kentucky, you know, that knew her, was like, how insensitive can you be? And why would she just, as if she can get up and leave when she had no clothes, no car keys, because they took all of her stuff. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, you big dummy. You want to further humiliate her, further violate her? It's one thing to have these few people in the back looking at her, you know, her whole being or whatever naked, and then you want her to go through a whole fucking restaurant that is at its peak. It was like rush hour up in that bitch. It was a whole bunch of people up in there. Girl, are you serious? Be fucking for real, okay? And of course, it was a man that was asking all these questions and all this stuff. And I said, oh my goodness. She winds up winning because she gets up there, she gives her testimony. And you want to know what put the nail in the coffin too? They played the whole 3-hour plus tape of the whole situation that was going down. And once them jurors started crying up in there, I said, pack that shit up, McDonald's. You about to get it. I said, McDonald's, you was trifling as fuck for that. You was trifling as fuck for that, but that's what these corporations do or whatever. You know, so when I go to work today, I'm going to just be looking at them like, because they didn't feel like they were culpable, and the whole reason why they were being sued is come to find out they didn't give their employees any reasonable notification about a possibility that a prank caller could call and tell you to do this and tell you to do that, because they had already had incidences like this before. So if you already had incidents like this before, what is wrong with just letting your employees be known? Put an email blast out there, put a text message out there, put something in the manual when we get hiring or whatever, and we do our meetings or whatever. Just tell them that, you know, be on the lookout. If you get a phone call from somebody saying that they're a cop and they want to do strip search and stuff like that, don't hang it up because it's a prank caller. That's where they went wrong at, and that's why they was getting sued. Getting sued. The lady won. She ain't win no 2 million, 200 million. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. They always start up high, but eventually they get down to something more reasonable. That's what the negotiation is for. She got 6.1. She got 6.1. I said, good for you, Miss Louise. I hope you are having a beautiful life. I really do. I hope you still got some of your money too and you used it wisely as well. Meanwhile, it was another lady. Oh my goodness. I think she worked at Taco Bell, the one that had the twin brother. When they was going through her shit and they tried to go to court or whatever, the courts basically was blaming her. When I tell you they victim blamed the fuck out of her, I said, oh my God, like, well, now you know what to do next time. This was your dumb fault and whatever. I'm sitting here like, what? Like, motherfuckers really don't care about women and their bodies and their right and the violations of it. I said, oh my God. It was just blowing me. So when they get back to Doug Stewart, he had a lawyer who was actually a good lawyer because he did his goddamn job, all right? When I tell you he put up on that stand and, well, he didn't even get up on the stand. The questionings or whatever, he created reasonable doubt, but he claimed that dude was innocent. I feel like he wasn't innocent because as soon as this happened and dude went to jail, went to court, no more prank calls or hoax calls have been made ever since. So I feel they got the right guy, the prosecutor. They just didn't have a complete case and enough evidence to prove it. You know, they were lacking in it, and I feel like they needed some more time to develop it, to, you know, do a little bit more deeper investigation. But what got me about the defense lawyer, oh, excuse me. What got me about the defense lawyer was when he said, we've seen in this day and age how, you know, the police like to present stuff and make it seem as if that's what it is. When honestly, most of the time, it's not necessarily what it is. Okay, we see the protesters and things that's been happening with the social justice and the George Floyds and the Breonna Taylor, and you know the police say one thing and we see the cameras and stuff that says. I said, how fucking dare you bring that shit up in here and compare that to him? Okay, now I understood where you were trying to go, but I just felt like, I just felt like that was a little, it was insensitive to me, because I said, how dare you can compare something like this to what the fuck your fucking client did. But that just was like, you could have kept that part out. You could have kept that part out, but he was like, you could look at the tape and that could be somebody else. I don't know if that was Doug Stewart on there. I said, what? I said, somebody positively identified him. I said, you know what, sir? I can't even be mad at you because you did your job. Your job was to get your client off and create reasonable doubt enough to get him off, and that is exactly what the fuck you did. I said, kudos to you, but your client, of course he ain't gonna sit there in the video and say, yeah, I believe he did it. Of course he's guilty. Of course he's gonna be like, yeah, I feel like he was innocent. I know he's innocent and all that stuff. I said, child, all right. So Mr. Doug Stewart got off. We have a docuseries that there was no real happy ending. The only happy ending was as soon as he went to court and he got off, all of this shit, when he got arrested and whatever, I think like 2004 was the last time they had a crank call. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all don't be doing no. Somebody tell you to strip search. Bitch, we are too technically advanced for shit like that, for anybody to be falling for some bullshit like that today. Oh my God, I just, wow. Would you have fell for it? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. If you have not watched it, go watch it. It's gonna make you mad for a little bit, but you just can't stop watching because you want to know how it ends. But I suggest you just go ahead and watch it all the way through if you haven't and you still sat through this whole review. But yeah, y'all tell me how y'all feel. It is 1:33. Girl, let me take my ass to bed. I'll see y'all later. This will be up later on today. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Peace.